for the very lady.
So listen, I was having a conversation with Trim earlier. And I meant to have this conversation on the last podcast that we did with everybody, but the question slipped my mind. So last podcast we were reviewing Big K.R.I.T's So Cool, right?
Right.
And as I was playing it, I was like, wait a minute. What's the difference between Big K.R.I.T and J.Cole? Right? J.Cole, if you put them side by side, they both lyrically great.
Right.
Yep. Both of them produce all their music.
Facts. Check that off. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I think both of them have traditionally, rappers, like versus like the ones who like rap, sing, and all of that, right?
Right.
They match. If you put them on a track, which I'm sure they've done a song together, and I can't think of it, but at some point in that time frame, they were both backed by Def Jam.
Yep.
And then the other was backed by Rock Nation.
Right.
So they both have machines behind them at some point. Even though I know now Big K.R.I.T is on his own. He has a label called Multi Alumni.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between the two? I'm trying to figure out like why one K.R.I.T. I don't think K.R.I.T ever mentioned. You coming from but you said Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I went to school in Mississippi. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you was out there. So were you out there at the time when K.R.I.T was really bubbling?
This the thing. K.R.I.T wasn't bubbling in Mississippi.
Whoa.
Where was he bubbling at?
A lot of times artists will come to Atlanta. K.R.I.T came to Atlanta.
That's what's up.
And just like Rich Boy. In Mobile, we weren't bumping Rich Boy like that. I didn't know who he was until the Interscope deal. It was crazy. Interscope presents Rich Boy, Throw Some D, and they start playing Throw Some D's, and I was like, oh shit, who is? And he went to my high school. Now, of course, he was older than me, and he didn't go at the time that I was there, but he went to Atlanta, I think, and then met with Polo the Don.
Ooh, shout out to Polo.
Yeah, shout out to Polo, and that's how he became big. Big K.R.I.T, same way. He wasn't like in Mississippi like buzzing, you know what I'm saying, like that. I can name you artists that were buzzing in Mississippi at the time, but nah. So that's that. But as far as like what's the difference between J. Cole and Big K.R.I.T, I think J. Cole had more appeal than Big K.R.I.T musically. You know what I'm saying? Because Big K.R.I.T, in my personal opinion, I think K.R.I.T is one of the dopest artists that are out. However, when he actually dropped, I feel like K.R.I.T would have been more beneficial to have dropped in the early 2000s, mid 2000s than when he did. I think his first, because I bought his first album that came out on Def Jam, Live from the Underground. I think that came out in 2012. I want to say.
I think around there 2010. They both in the same class. I think
they're in that same class, but K.R.I.T was rapping like the Texas sound. He's from Mississippi, but that OG UGK Texas sound, but that Texas sound had went out of style in 2005. They exploited it 05, and then by 06 we were tired of it. You know,
they drained that thing. They really, it's like they just. I love Texas rap, so you know what I'm saying. But you're right. They exploited it. You're right.
Yeah, they exploited that shit, and it was just like, damn, because in Mobile, we were used to hearing Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Paul Wall, before anybody knew Paul Wall was actually a white man.
Right.
We knew about them before then, but we didn't know about, like, when they went mainstream, that's when it was just exploited. You know what I'm saying? That's when you saw Nelly. When Nelly made Grills, that was the death of Houston rap.
Wow.
As far as the mainstream of what we knew it as. Now, of course, they still rap. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But when it went mainstream, it was too much. But I feel like going back to Big K.R.I.T, I feel like the difference between him and J. Cole, because they are similar. You know what I'm saying? And J. Cole is from the South.
Yep. Right. That's why. Right. Exactly.
He's from the South.
Carolina.
Right. And I was telling people, like I was telling Trim, like you know, North Carolina is a different southern region. Like it's a different southern state because even though they're in the South, they're still close to Virginia, Maryland, you know, so Washington. So they got East Coast influences. You know, that's why a lot of them, when you hear J.Cole, when you hear Rhapsody, they all sound like they're from the East Coast. Because, you know, so they have a lot of East Coast influence. Right. So, but that is very interesting. Very interesting. What do y'all think? What's y'all take on that?
I think that's something weird, man. It's like I love both K.R.I.T and Cole, man, and I can definitely see like putting them together. You can see a lot of similarities between the two of them. So you would want, you know, with Cole popping off and growing big, part of me is a fan with K.R.I.T. I want to do the same thing and have that same type of following and everything. But it's very interesting to see the dynamic between the two of them like that. So that's something. It's just different, but I definitely hear the influence in Cole versus with K.R.I.T. You hear that, you know, like that Texas feel, that Southern feel, everything. You can definitely hear it on his last album. He did those like different influences that what he like gravitated to in a lot of his raps. You heard a lot of those influences in a lot of his music on that last album. So definitely, man.
Well, what you got, man? Because you're a big Jermaine Cole. And by the way, y'all didn't peep that. Y'all didn't peep that Mano and J. Cole got the same exact name. His name is Jermaine Coleman.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mano's name is Jermaine Coleman.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
I looked at, you know, I'm a big credit reader. So y'all take the time, y'all go look at the credits. J. Cole, his name is Jermaine Coleman. And then same thing with Mano. Same exact name. I might be tripping, but I know that's what I saw. But my bad, Walt. Go ahead.
I do think that the main difference, I think, is I do think, like, honestly, my personal opinion, I do like J. Cole stuff a little bit more. I do think that, but I'm from the East, like I'm from New York, so I do like his sound a little bit more. I do think that when it comes to production, I think the music that he uses that he produces, I do think that it's a little bit more layered between like the New York sound and a little bit of like this, you know, Southern sound too. I do feel like he kind of layers it a little bit more. But as far as like K.R.I.T, like as far as like the talent, like it's right there. Like,
they both,
As far as my opinion, I just feel like J. Cole. I think it's like what J. Ray was saying. As far as like it's a bit more appealing. I feel like he kind of stays a little bit more relevant with the music and the subject matter. But still, like as far as like both of them, I really don't feel like one necessarily is like that much better of an artist than the other. I for real feel like it's right there. I just feel like Cole's a little bit more relevant in that field.
I think y'all might have hit it on the head. The subject matter might be what might separate them.
Yeah.
But breaking. So, who's the better producer?
I would say K.R.I.T. I would go to K.R.I.T for more of a beat. Now, I'm not saying that he makes great beats, but if it comes to production, if somebody was like J. Red, who would you rather work with? I feel like me and K.R.I.T would have more chemistry because, and it's probably because I come from the South, but I think J. Cole's projects, the fact that he produces them entirely, I think him and K.R.I.T.
They do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think this is criticism for both of them. I feel like if they step outside of their comfort zone and let other people produce, and I ain't talking about just 2 tracks, let them produce the whole album. And we want to hear how that sounds. You know what I'm saying? Even if they got with one different producer, like if J. Cole got with No Idea or Big K.R.I.T got with
Now he did do that. Though.
And his last
did
album,
that.
he had it like his whole album.
The last album
was done by other producers, and he rocked it, man. He rocked it.
Who? J. Cole's last album?
No, K.R.I.T.
Oh,
Yeah.
K.R.I.T. Like you talking
Yeah.
about the one that just came out?
No,
the
one before
the
that.
other one.
K.R.I.T was here. K.R.I.T was here.
Yeah, he had a he had somebody come in and help him produce this one. I know it was hard for him to do that because it's tough when you
They go control.
Yeah, when you let in when you've been producing your whole life, you know, you're all doing everything by yourself because you know it's tough coming from Mississippi.
Yeah,
It's tough coming from Mississippi.
Did he A&R it or did he executive produce it or did he like have like different? Because I heard it. I heard K.R.I.T was here.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you right now because man, why am I missing this man's name? It's crazy because
It'll come to you, man. As soon as it comes to you, you're gonna be like, oh,
his sister gonna kill me, man. Let's see, hold on. I'm about to tell you right now. So the last album, K.R.I.T is here. Credits.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine too.
Yeah, Rico Love. Oh my gosh. Whew.
I didn't forget.
Rico gonna kill.
Okay.
Stephanie gonna kill me, man. Shout out to Rico. Yeah, Rico Love. He went through. He did a lot of production on there. And you know, when Rico was in the mix, he really is in the mix. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he really because he's you know he's. I feel like Rico Love is the king of like if you need a hit. Like you would like look what he did for Kelly Rowland when he did you know when he did that song for her, she didn't have no hit.
Yeah.
Till that joint came out. What's the name of it?
I'm trying to think. That's what I'm trying to think of the name of it too.
You talking about the one with Wayne?
Yeah, with Wayne. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He did that one. What?
Yeah.
She had no hit really until he did that joint. He's good at like when you hear that turn the lights on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be out of here. But he did that for K.R.I.T. I think I want to say that K.R.I.T did A&R. I'm looking at it right now. He did A&R that album. And he also executive produced it. But you know, he brought Rico Love in to craft this that kind of like you know get the sound going. You know, and he got a lot of different producers on there. But it's just interesting. But I think. I didn't know that, and I get your point about his Houston, like that Houston sound that might.
Yeah, because I can hear the influences. I can hear it.
He'll tell you. He'll tell you.
Yeah, because he made a song, and the song was dope called "Learn My Shit from Texas." It's called "Learn from Texas," and it went hard. But I remember when he first dropped his album, I was like, okay, this is dope. But I think it's like 5 years too late.
Gotcha.